a waiter might not seem like a big deal to most people, but for Tay Choon Sen, it's a dream come true. He's an ex-offender who spent over 30 years in jail. But since his release from prison in 2009, he's worked full-time at Breakthrough Cafe. This second chance to become an honest citizen and a contributing member of society is something that he's thankful for every day.
因为我过去的生活或者我的言行只是包括我的一切啦。我在想，我需要彻底的改变，然后来这里就是本身自己要带有一个，应该用上进心吧，我想，不知道恰当吗啦？我这样讲，其实是说要改良自己的言行举止，就是刚才讲到的有一个正确工作的态度。
Choon Sen's positive work ethic hasn't gone unnoticed. His boss, Freddie, trusts him so much that Choon Sen is now only one of 2 employees authorized to handle cash transactions at the cafe.
Over these 4 years, he has proven himself to be a very hardworking worker here, and he really put his heart and he really do his best. He got the very good character, in order to continue here. I think he himself also know that it's important, for him to move on, and then he become a role model.
Being a role model to other ex-offenders is something that Freddie knows about. Freddie is an ex-offender himself. And now as an employer, he understands how important it is to provide job opportunities for other ex-offenders. There were around 11,400 people serving sentences in prison last year. And one of the biggest challenges for many after they're released is finding a job and an employer who's willing to give them that second chance.
As a society, the employer should give the ex-offender a second chance. Giving them a second chance to work, I think that would motivate them, encourage them, and also keep them occupied.
Fortunately, besides Breakthrough Cafe, there are many other employers willing to give ex-offenders a second chance. Today, there are over 3,400 employers registered with the government offering work opportunities for ex-offenders. Just last year alone, over 1,700 inmates managed to secure jobs prior to their release from prison, a trend that seems to have gained acceptance with the public.
I have experience of having ex-offenders with my colleagues, so yeah, I'm okay with it.
I think we should give them a chance to start afresh.
You cannot judge a person based on an offence is committed like years ago.
The effect of giving these ex-offenders a job and a second chance appears to be positive. The reoffending rates have steadily declined over the last 3 years. Prem Kumar from the Singapore Aftercare Association credits this to the rise of voluntary welfare organizations which help to rehabilitate ex-offenders into society. And he says that steady employment is key to the rehabilitation process.
I know of ex-offenders who are very grateful for the chances given to them by employers. And for this group of people, I think they tend to be more motivated, they tend to be more loyal, and then will do their best to make sure that the chances given to them are not regretted.
Loris Massimini is the executive chef of the Italian restaurant La Pizzaiola. He's another employee who hires ex-offenders. But when he first hired former drug addicts Yus and Ad, he didn't inform the other staff that they were ex-offenders. Instead, he let Yus and Ad do it themselves.
I want them to gradually integrate with the other staff, and eventually they will tell them themselves they've been an ex-offender, ex-inmates, and they have lunch together every day with my staff, and they spend the whole afternoon together.
But while workplace harmony has been achieved in the restaurant, Loris still insists on having ground rules, and these apply equally to everyone, regardless of their background.
When you have a problem or you feel a bit angry, don't raise your voice. Wait for the service to finish, and then during the briefing at night, you bring out the problems.
Respect and a sense of belonging are also key ingredients at Breakthrough Cafe. Choon Sen and his colleagues get along well, even when work gets stressful at times. In fact, he credits the cafe for giving him a second chance at creating a new life for himself. It's now been 4 years since Choon Sen was last released from prison. To this day, he remains grateful for the second chance given by his employer in taking the leap of faith and hiring him. His sister, Sir Hui, and his childhood friend Henry are also grateful that he's finally free and able to meet whenever they wish. They're proud that Chun Sen didn't give up on himself and continued persevering even when the going got tough.
至少我的目前，我没有去坐牢，我再不犯法、为非作歹，不让家里的人伤心或者再对我失望，这是我的成功的定义。
If you measure success not by the position you've reached in life, but by the obstacles that you've overcome, then many of us would have a story to tell. And if you'd like to share that story with us, head over to our